So bathroom, right, I got this major idea to actually make it look like hotel like that. But then the quotation came, right, I was like, I think it's okay lah. Wardrobe was also given. It actually does not match with the whole vibe of the place lah, and I'm actually not very happy about it. And I actually inquired the contractor, how much would it cost if you spray paint it maybe like white color, right? It cost me. So I was like,
can you renovate a house with only 20,000 ringgit? Well, it sounds like a difficult feat, right? But when we talk to our colleague, that's exactly what she did. And so that's why today we are here to check out a house and see what she do with the house with only 20,000 ringgit. Let's go. Haven't even locked door. Hi, my staff.
hello. Coming to spot check me.
Yes. So today you work from home, huh?
Yes, I work from home.
So we're gonna bring work to your home today.
Okay, can.
Maybe Eileen, you can give a quick introduction about yourself, what you do at Finlit Media, which is for those people out there who know as Mr. Money lah.
So my name is Lynn. So what I do here is that I'm in charge of brand growth and also special products.
I like how you say what I do here. Like
here.
This is our office.
This is my office for today. Our office for
our
today.
Office for today.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. First, I want to understand more about this location that you're living in and the layout of the building and stuff like that. Yeah, can you tell us more about this particular project?
So this project name is actually H2O Residences. There's over 1,300 over units, and it was actually built back in 2017. Completed in 2017. But then I only bought it in 2019 during the pandemic. Okay. Then after that, I moved in like 2 years ago. So actually there was a period of time where this house was actually abandoned for quite a while. So it was like filled up little bit by little bit. You know, as you get money, right, then only you start buying, okay, maybe today you can buy table. Then you just buy one table, put here first.
Wow, so
then
this 20K was spread also across 2 years.
Correct.
Wow!
Yeah.
Okay, that I didn't know. You gotta share the journey with us later.
Yeah.
Before I go into other details, why not you can start sharing with us like this particular unit, right? What's the layout like? What are we looking at today?
So this layout itself is the smallest unit available here. It's only 750 square feet. Okay. And there's actually a 2+1 bedroom. Why one is because it's quite small lah, but then I use it as storeroom. Later I show you. Maybe I show you depending on
okay, we see whether clean or not. We spot check.
Correct, yeah.
But I think the smaller unit, right? There's the studio unit also, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there's a studio unit, 550 square feet.
I see, totally forgot about the smaller unit.
Sorry. So this is my kitchen. It's a one look see all. Because we do very light cooking here, right? So we don't need so much kacang also lah. So all these like cabinet, hood and hob and whatnot is actually given by the developer. So initially, of course, my plan was to change it because there's definitely some marks and whatnot on top of the kitchen counter and whatnot. But you know lah, we are saving money, so it's okay. But for me, what is important here is that when I actually saw this sink, right, it's actually very small. So what I did was I actually just changed this tab so that I can actually take out and then, you know, so that I can clean everywhere, right?
Oh, so that it doesn't spray everywhere as well.
Correct, yeah. You know, when you wash one pot, right, it's exactly the size of the sink already. Then I actually inquired the contractor, right, if I actually make the sink bigger, how much will it cost and whatnot? It costs a bomb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Correct, because we need to cut it out and whatnot, man. So I just replaced the whole thing already at that point in time. Yeah, and then you need to buy a new sink and all. But the sink is still relatively new, so I don't see the point of changing. So I just changed this part, and then next time also, right, if I actually shift house and whatnot, I can just take it with me.
This looks very high quality. How much is this?
This is 700 bucks.
I noticed this one thing about here is this particular, I don't know whether to call it a cabinet or magic cabinet with a fridge. Ta-da!
Right, this is a fridge that's actually like in a way like camouflage together. So I was quite lucky, right? Because at that point in time when my contractor was doing my house, he was also doing another house at Pavilion Suites. And that particular owner did not want his fridge. After that, my contractor told me that it actually fits perfectly in my space because I actually needed a fridge, right? And he gave it to me for free.
Wow, and it's not some cheap brand, it's a proper one,
Yeah. Then here I got this condiment little trolley thing from, I think, Lazada. Because like I need to maximize all the space that I have here because there's not much space to keep like the wok and whatnot, and putting it here makes it easy for cooking also. Yeah, so I got it to maximize the space.
So the whole kitchen, basically permanent stuff, you only spend 700 ringgit.
Technically, yes.
Wow.
By the way, this is also like a service area, you know, where we wash clothes, dry clothes and whatnot. It's all here. It's actually pretty small, but what I did was I actually broke down the wall because you can see there's two different coloured tiles, right?
Oh, you broke down the wall?
Yeah, I broke down the wall. It's actually just a half wall, and then all the aircon compressors was actually behind. So if I did not break down, right, the moment you walk out, that's it really.
It's a very small space.
Correct. But then now I can like dry clothes, you know, I can put all my detergent outside and whatnot. So it creates a bigger illusion of space so they don't feel so cramped. Because the house is already cramped.
Yeah. That's true.
So that is
very
where
good.
most of my renovation money came from, because that cost me about, I think about 3,000, 4,000 just to break a small wall.
Just to break this wall,
Yeah,
and
but then and tile it up also lah. So they did quite a nice job.
Right.
Yeah, and then they put all my aircon compressors all one side.
Oh.
Yeah, so that I got more space to like, you know, hang clothes and whatnot. Yeah. So maybe we can move on to like the dining area.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mom actually gifted me this little kitchen trolley where I can actually put in like those Tupperware, snacks and whatnot. That's why you don't see anything on top, right? And then this is where I put all my kacang, you know, when I come back, I just throw everything here. That's why here's a mess. This is the only mess I guess. I hope.
This is the only mess, huh? Look at the way you put things. Do you do this only because we are here, or all the time is like that?
There's actually a system to it. Yeah, so like the middle part is actually where I put the medicine and some salt, because you know the whole thing cannot keep the salt, right? And then some coffee and whatnot. And then the bottom there is because I keep the receipts for 6 months, just in case I need to like return something, warranty, you know, all that sort of thing. You need to keep those stuff. So for the dining area itself, this pendant light was actually requested because like I feel like I needed like a centerpiece of the house, and at the same time I needed to like make sure it matches with the vibe of the house, right? Because I wanted to make sure like, you know, when you sit here, you feel comfortable for eating, for working, or just even hanging out with friends. So that's why I chose these 3 little pendant lights, and this thing only cost me I think 39 ringgit.
39 ringgit?
Yeah.
Okay.
39 ringgit, including the bulbs also. So this table and this bench actually matches each other. This is from SSF, and actually this table is slightly special. Reason why is because, right, it's smaller than actually the normal width of a table. So usually table, right, is like 180, right? I think this is about 170 or 160 only. Yeah, reason why I didn't want to choose something bigger is because if I choose something bigger, there's not much circulation space around.
Right.
Yeah, but I realized about myself after I moved out is that I love to host people. So then we put
Really?
like...
Why is it the first time I come to your house? Hosting boss is another story. Now, just now you mentioned one thing. This is matching. Does it mean that it did not come together, or it came together?
It did not come together. It's actually a separate piece. But of course, you can buy it in a set. But the reason why is because I just wanted one side a bench, and the other two I wanted chairs. Reason why is because when my parents come over, right, I wanted to sit comfortably, and then the younger ones is okay, you don't need backrest.
Oh, so these two are not part of it.
It's not part of it. So it's just kind of like, in a way it matches, but at the same time it does not really match.
Right.
These 2 chairs were actually bought by my boyfriend. It cost about 300 bucks each. This one, and then this bench was about 300 that time also when I bought. Yeah. So this thing in total, I think the table itself actually came with a sofa that I bought previously. I think in total it was 2,000 for 2 things, so it's about 1,000 each. Yeah. So maybe you can move on to like the living room, which is like right behind us. So this is my living room, where I actually spend the most time here. So sometimes also, you know, when I say I work from home, right, sometimes I'm sitting here.
So this is your office lah, when you say work from home?
Yes, that's why my laptop there. Before you guys come, I got work, you know.
I see.
Yeah. So just now I mentioned that I actually replaced my sofa, right? Reason why is because my previous sofa was just like a 3-seater. It did not have this L-shaped thing. And then after I used that sofa a while, right, then I realized, right, I'm actually quite lazy. I need the L shape. To lie down and work, because I love that.
So that you can...
Correct. I can just like that, you know, teman my kids. I call them my kids, by the way. Yeah, teman my kids a bit, put the blanket over, just work. It's super cozy. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I replaced it with this sofa. So this sofa cost us around 2,000-ish, I think. And then we purposely chose this side to be the L shape, so can customize also. Yeah, so it's actually pretty good. And then, but then most of the space is taken by them, as you can see, right? So usually when the guests come, right, they feel very paiseh, like they own the sofa, not the humans. And then this coffee table, I got it from like this warehouse sale thing. It only cost me 50 ringgit. This TV cabinet itself, I think it's about 300-ish. So you can like store things inside. Most of the things inside is just games because I like to play games a lot.
Can see.
But I like to read books as well. I see the books there. So I got read.
Yeah, that's true.
But also another side hobby that I have is that I kind of like Legos. One thing that's very special is my Sesame Street Lego set because I love Sesame Street a lot. So of course it has to be the main piece here ma. And I also like to watch F1. So I actually bought a Mercedes F1 Lego car for my Elmo to sit in the middle. So then the TV was just an addition that I had quite recently actually, this TV. This TV was bought by my boyfriend. We actually used a previous TV that was owned by my parents for quite a while before we changed to this TV because that TV spoiled already. The TV I think more than 10 years old already. Because all these things, right, we tend to use whatever we have first. Then if we really don't have, then only we buy new ones. Yeah, because you know when we want to start living on our own, right, we need to start saving money and stuff like that. So try to use whatever that we have at home first before actually thinking of buying a new one. I also bought this little like dehumidifier right next to the TV cabinet, right, because that thing actually absorbs all the moisture in the air so that it's not so hot. Because my unit, right, is actually kind of like facing the southeast part, so sometimes you know it gets very hot, so it absorbs all the moisture already, right, so sometimes I don't even need to on aircon, so it's not that hot lah. And then sometimes you know when I need to like dry clothes fast, right, there's actually like a clothes drying mode where I can just put it right next to it, right, within the next day, right, sure kautim already.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It works like that one?
Correct, yeah. I wash clothes at night, then in the morning I can just fold and then tuck and go. That's not including in the 20,000 because that was just an add-on like early this year I bought it. Yeah. Maybe you move on to the master bedroom, which is actually right here.
Eileen, at the moment you step in here, I noticed that the floor is different. Did you laminate yourself or what?
No, I actually did not change anything related to the floor, even though I wanted to, but the cost is a little bit too high already. So I decided to just stick to whatever that I had and then try to make do with the color scheme and whatnot because it is light flooring and it actually does not really match with the whole vibe of the place lah. But it is okay. And then sometimes you know sun damage and whatnot, then it kind of like stain the floor a bit, but it's okay. It is character.
I see. Okay. But looks good. I like the flooring also. One thing I want to ask you is that out of the 20,000, what are the things that you've done in this room that is part of it?
So one thing that I did quite major is that I brought out the aircon from the wall.
Oh, you brought it out?
Yes, I actually did that because the aircon, right, was actually like in the wall, so then it's like inside the cabinet. So then the air, right, actually doesn't actually come out all the way here. So now that we stand here, it's quite cooling because we are direct, right? So actually I brought it out. So inside there is just an empty box. So that one actually costs quite a bit also. But also another thing that's part of the cost that I actually spent quite a bit on is actually this feature wall that I had. Yeah, so this one got a bit of like kind of like a Versailles kind of like.
That's right. There's a textured wall.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a textured wall.
So this wall actually cost me 1,000 just to do this small little wall. So another thing that we added was this small little pendant light that's coming down from both sides. Reason why I added this is because I wanted something different than white light. Because as we are trying to wind down after a long day, right, we need a bit of warm lights.
That's right.
So when we on this one, we feel a bit more cozy, comfortable and whatnot. So that is why I also added the TV to add to the coziness of it also.
Okay.
Yeah, so that this TV itself, right, is something that is quite important for me. So as I grow up, right, my parents actually had TV in their bedroom because my dad also loves to watch F1 at night. So sometimes I will actually join him last time. And then now that I moved out already, right, I need to do the same thing.
Right.
So then I put a TV here. And last time my boyfriend, right, was like a bit, why need to add TV in the bedroom one leh? But this is my ask ma. So then I actually added this in and then now he cannot live without TV in the room already.
So another thing I want to ask you is actually the wardrobe. Was it part of the given thing or not?
Yeah, the wardrobe was also given because it actually does not match with the whole vibe of the place lah. And I'm actually not very happy about it. And I actually inquired the contractor, how much would it cost if you spray paint it maybe like white color, right? It cost me 3,000. So I was like, no.
So you built your own one, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I was like, no need lah, just make do with it. And then, you know, just keep the room like in a darker tone to just match the whole thing together.
I have to say you did quite well in that. it matched. I thought it's part of the design.
Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe you can share with us what you did with your bathroom. Is there any major renovation or anything like that you did here?
So bathroom, right, I got this major idea to actually make it look like hotel like that. Like put all those, got that thingy inside the wall one, then you can put the shampoo that one, right?
I see, yes.
So that was my big idea, right? And then change all the tiles and whatnot. But then the quotation came, right? I was like, I think it's okay lah. Yeah. So what I did instead, right, is just furnish the bathroom with like some IKEA fittings. So like initially also I wanted to like do this like glass door thing here instead of the curtain. But when I saw the drawing, right, I saw the door swing inward. Then I asked the designer, so how do I go in and then close the door and come out, because it's very small, right? Then she was like, oh, you might have to squeeze a little bit lah. But then I was like, okay, then better not. I just stick to the good old shower curtain, right?
Yeah, because it's very inconvenient.
Correct, and it's much cheaper also, this option. So like next time when we clean toilet, right, because I'm a bit cleanliness freak, right, I'll just change the curtain.
You change the curtain every time?
Yeah.
Like buy new one?
Correct. Yeah.
So,
So when I go IKEA, I'll just buy like 10 packets one shot.
How often do you change your curtain?
Maybe 1-2 weeks.
No wonder so clean lah!
Because one thing's important is that sometimes, you know, when you bath already, right, all the soap all land here, right, then the gunk will just stick to the bacteria. So replace it all the time.
Okay.
So another thing that I did was also to add this like water instant heater, because initially, right, I didn't want that whole system thing. Because a bit like you can see all the exposed thingy, right?
Piping.
Correct. So I didn't really like it. But I kind of have no choice, because if I wanted to do that, it's like a whole new
you need to hack
renovation.
it and stuff
Correct,
like that.
yeah. And that's too expensive, right? But one mistake that I actually did was actually buy a water heater with pump. So when you move into a condo, technically you don't need the one with pump one.
That's right.
Correct. But I bought with pump, and then the pressure is just too high.
So just to share with you guys, right, I think with pump and without pump, the price can be double. And in terms of the cabinet at the back, is this part of it?
No, this one was actually built in, and the reason why I needed it is because my toilet is so small, right? I got no space to put, you know, those toilet rolls lah, the extra soap you buy, you know, buy 2 free 2, you know, those kind of thing. So this is the thing that will actually store it. So that's pretty great, because it also doubles up as my mirror. So then, you know, you can just hide everything inside and make it look very like clean.
Right. So how much do you spend on this?
Honestly, I don't know, because she quoted me like one time.
One lump sum.
Yeah, one lump sum. So in my other toilet also got. So I think in total it cost me about 5 lah.
Oh, so your total furnishing in this house built-in is about 5,000 ringgit, including the aircon?
Including the aircon thingy. Yeah.
See, that's why I say, this Eileen, very clean one in our office. Now Eileen, since you love cleanliness so much, right, and we can't visit your house, you know, people say we go and visit people's house, right, you cannot go without anything, you must give people something. So I got something for you today. You put your hand up.
One hand or two hand?
Two hand. This one quite big one.
Oh,
quite big one.
Okay.
Okay, I get for you, okay?
Can.
Can
Wow.
you see or not?
Can see. Can you see? Because I can see.
It's a Common X8 mop and vacuum, so that it's easier for you to clean your house next time.
Hey, Peter!
The next day.
This sucks. This sucks. Spills, crumbs, random mess, it happens. This is why I got the Common X8 to suck it all up. Got crumbs and sticky floors? No problem. The 4-in-1 mop head handles everything from vacuuming, mopping, steaming, and even UV disinfecting, all in one go, leaving your floors spotless. Tired of dirt hiding in your sofa or bed? The motorized UV bed vacuum tool eliminates dust, dirt, and allergens with ease, keeping your home fresh and clean. With the green laser LED, even the tiniest particles are revealed, making dust nowhere to hide. Vacuuming has never been this precise and satisfying. And when it's time to clean the vacuum, simply dock it and the station will automatically vacuum the debris into the dust bag. No flying dust, no hassle, just clean and done. Don't miss out, check out the link in the description down below. So this is the man cave, also known as the bedroom too.
So this is like a game room, right?
It is a game room actually, because my boyfriend and I, we actually love to play games a lot.
Right. I heard you're met through gaming also, right?
In a way, yes. Yeah, we play games first before we even meet in person. Gotta test his skills in gaming first, right? Yeah, if he can carry
so
me in the
verified.
game. Correct, verified. He can carry me in the game.
I want to ask you, why do you have a touch and go e-wallet, QR here.
So this one is actually, because when I pay for lunch with colleagues and whatnot, right, they can actually just scan and easily send the money over. So technically it's like a conversation starter every time. So I'm glad that you actually asked me.
Hey, I like.
Yeah.
So I put it on my table. Then I say, hey, boss, why do you have one here? The day's lunch you haven't paid me yet.
So this side is actually my side. So I actually use a laptop to game, and then after that I just decorate it with a few things that I really like the little fries, little Lego that I have. And then after that, I have a monitor because I deal with numbers a lot. But most of the time I work outside, unless like there's a lot of numbers, right? Then I will use here instead.
Okay.
Yeah, but here is just generally for gaming. And then these flowers was given by a boyfriend as well, because it just doesn't die. And
so
then it's
sweet, huh?
appreciated. Yeah, he actually gave me this when he proposed to me. Oh, technically you shouldn't call him boyfriend, you should call him fiancé already.
Hey, you're very romantic, huh? Always give you all these kind of roses.
Correct.
Oh.
So I just put it here. Then on this side is where, you know, the magic happened, right? Because this is where the heavy gaming actually comes to play. So that he has this whole little setup, and also his little pop mart figurine that he has, because he loves Toy Story. So he wants to display that up as well.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes when he's not here, I'll just sit there because it's more comfortable, because mine is just normal chair. This one is that one.
Why his one so nice, your one?
Because you're gonna give the husband the best. Yeah.
Wow.
Happy husband, happy life. Yeah.
Since here cannot cook, right?
Correct.
So keep the hand happy to play game first.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so
Because
your 20K include this setup here or not including?
Not including, because this one was actually add-on. Eventually, you know, as we got more money and whatnot, there will only be add-on. But the fan in behind you is included lah.
Oh, this was part of the 20K
This is part of the 20K. Reason why I chose this fan is just to match back with the
Yep.
vibes and whatnot.
I can see. Yeah. Oh, then this table, was it included?
This table
initially?
is not included also initially. It was an impulse buy also, because like when I see his setup, right, everything is just so big, and the normal IKEA table is a little bit too small, and I wanted him to have something that is pretty good also, those standing desk kind. So we actually decided to just buy the bala for him. Another thing, right, that I did in this room, that I actually did not install a ceiling fan. So everything is mainly just aircon or just this fan. So usually if I sit here and then he sit there, then this fan is definitely not enough, right? So I'll just definitely just on the aircon. The reason why is because like eventually, you know, this room, right, can be changed to whatever that needs to be. Like let's just say, you know, when I have a child or whatnot, then I can just like change the room up. So let's just say if I want to add a little double-decker bed, right, I cannot add a ceiling fan. So then I'll waste my money, right, if I buy a ceiling fan. So that's why I just opt for this one, and then we just use aircon.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
So you also keep in mind that one day probably getting kids and everything all.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So I want to keep the rooms like rather flexible. So once we come out, right, we will first see the toilet here straight away. So this is the common toilet. It's actually super small, because like the moment you open the door, right, the sink is like right there already. One.
Oh.
Yeah, so this toilet, right, we only use it just to go toilet only. We don't
And guests
usually
come out,
bath here. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what we did. But we also installed that like built-in cabinet thing as well, because we need to store those extra toilet rolls and whatnot. You know, just in case like, what if I have a child and whatnot, this would be their toilet as well.
Right.
So it's just like thinking ahead in time lah. Because we already buy one side, might as well just buy another one already.
So Eileen, now that we have seen your whole house already, I think when it comes to living in a condo, we can't not talk about the facility, right? Now, first question. Many people that I know, when they live in a condo, they actually rarely use any of the facility after a while. Now, you've been living here for 2 years. How often do you use the facility?
I would say quite often. I would say like almost every day. Almost. Okay, reason why, right, is because I like to walk outside. People here in Ara Damansara, there's a lot of like condos here, right? And most of them like to shout out about their facility deck. But I feel like this facility deck is really good.
Wow,
Yeah. But
say
then,
until
see,
so
I
good.
hype you up already, right?
Oh.
But then, you know what? I'll just bring you out to experience it for yourself.
Oh, you better don't
Yeah.
disappoint me. Okay,
won't disappoint
let's
you.
go. No, I'm hyped up.
So here we are at the facility deck. What do you think?
Okay, I have to say right here, from what I see is that it's really very green. It does feel like you're walking in the garden.
Correct, yeah. So that's why it's very good to unwind here. I would say like the facility that is something that they will really shout about on lah. Yeah, I think the residents here also really enjoy because like most of the time when I take my evening walk here also, right, there's quite a lot of people actually walking here as well.
It feels very cooling, and now we are actually 1:30 in the afternoon, which is supposed to be super hot, right? But this is not what I expected. It's actually very cooling.
If you realize, right, the building itself is designed in a way where it's like a bit curvy one. Like even the roads that we are, the pathway that we are walking now is also quite curvy, right? It's because like from what I understand, the architect actually designed this place, right, to actually go with the flow of the wind. So you can still feel like some wind going through and whatnot.
That's why it's called 米水风水的水. So Eileen, thank you very much for having us here in your house today. Before we end today's session, there are a few questions that I have to ask you. Firstly, let's talk about the 20,000 ringgit that you spent for this house. Can you recap to us once again, what were the things that you spent on?
So basically, right, it was included like the built-in cabinet and also the demolition of the half wall, putting the aircon compressors all one side, painting, help me install all the lights and whatnot, and also the taking out the aircon thingy from the wall to push it a little bit out so that the air flows better, right? Those are included, including some of the major furnitures like the table just now, the bench, and also like the sofa previously, not this one, the previous one, and then some of the other big items are included in that one.
Another thing that I want to ask you, right, is that when you spend this 20 over K, how long was it? Was it like in the sense where spread over the 2 years, or was it like one shot you had to pay this full amount?
I would say the amount was actually spread out throughout 2 years because like at that point in time, right, when I bought a house, I was kind of like a fresh grad coming out with maybe like 1-2 years working experience, right? Which my salary definitely was not a lot at that point in time. So usually it's like, okay, got enough money already, let's buy this kind of thing. Then I will strike it off in my Excel sheet, right? So I have this Excel sheet that I have my wish list. Right?
I see.
Yeah, so then I will start putting things like comparing, like maybe like washing machine, where I will like compare, should I buy a top load, should I buy a front load, that kind of thing, and how much does it cost, the electricity consumption of each and whatnot. So that's something that I would also compare because I want to find like the best value for my money. That's why I took a little bit more time to actually come out and stay in this place rather than like after buy this straight away come out and whatnot.
How did you came to the conclusion of 20K is what you're willing to spend? How was the planning process like?
So technically, right, I would say the budget itself, it wasn't like a fixed like, okay, I must spend like less than 20K, that kind of thing. It was more of like, let's just chuck everything to the list first and let's see the total and see how much I can actually afford first. And then after that, I started to cut down whatever I could, right? And that's where I actually approached my ID friend. So she's the one that helped me to like do this like 3D rendering of my place because I have like a set of things that I cannot like let go of, which is like taking away that half wall to actually expand the yard space, right? That's something that has to be done, and also to take out the aircon from the wall because I love everything cold, right? So that is like non-negotiable. So when she did all those things already, she actually did the 3D rendering, right? So she tells me like, okay, you can put these kind of sofa here, you can put the TV this side and whatnot. So that kind of gives me like an illusion like, okay, I can put an L-shaped sofa and how much space do I have left? So that took me a lot of time to actually figure out like what I actually wanted, and her drawings actually like kind of like show me like, should I do light colored things or should I do like darker colored ones and whatnot. So most of the furniture here, right, is actually from different style ones, so it doesn't really match each other, but somehow everything just like matches.
Can I say that like there was a value in terms of when they rendered the thing for you? It gave you a picture of what you really want and helps you to choose your furniture and the rest of the things much more easier. Can I say that?
Correct, yes, because for someone like me, right, yes, I see a lot of Pinterest, I watch a lot of videos and whatnot, right, but it's very different to see in your own space itself, and how they imagine it to be, right, is somehow quite different than what I imagine it to be. So that actually gives me a picture like, oh, maybe I can add this, maybe I can add that, but then I wanted to just make sure that the house does not look too much things, because like it's already small, right, and then when you add like maybe like one sofa, it already looks like something big is there already.
I do find one thing is that in my journey when I renovate some of my houses for renting out to people is that when you're able to see the picture of it, when you buy things, you become more certain. Because sometimes when you don't, right, you end up buying the wrong things and that end up wasting more money.
Correct. Because as like a first-time home buyer, I just want to make sure that whatever that I buy is not a mistake. Because it's like a huge amount of money, right? Coming out to work and whatnot, suddenly owning a house at that kind of age, right, is actually quite a big decision, I would say. Before I actually moved into this place, right, my parents' place was actually renovated as well. So I kind of like have some learnings here and there before I take it here, and also to like talk to people, right, what they do with their house and what they buy, what brands they buy, what's good, what's not, what can I stinge on. So that's something that has to be done before actually decorating.
One more thing, I noticed that in your house, everything here, the things that you have are usually, at least it look rather high quality and things that is very well coordinated in color and matches, right? But which means that you spend a little bit more money in it as well, right? What are your thoughts between balancing these two things? Finding something cheap versus finding something that matches but is going to cost more?
So that's why I spent a lot of time like researching what I really wanted. And this house, right, it was actually made at different times. So let's just say when I got enough money, I will only buy that one thing, and then after that I'll match things around it. So whatever that I already buy already, right, I will actually think about like, oh, if I buy this thing, will it match the whole vibe or not? Because if it doesn't, then it is not within the list. But also, it has to also match my wallet right? Yeah, so that is something that I've learned throughout this process, right, is that you don't have to buy everything one shot. You can actually just buy as and when, rather than making sure your house is completed. And after that, slowly also I learned like, okay, these are the things you can stinge on, these are the things you cannot stinge on and whatnot. So like certain things, like you can see some of it is pretty good quality and whatnot, right? It's because I make a lot of effort into like researching the pros and cons of certain things, comparing models and whatnot to make sure that I got like the best value one at how much money I'm willing to spend on that thing. Yeah.
My last question to you, Eileen, is I think there are many people out there who are fresh grads. They are probably thinking about the same, but they have to justify between how much money do they make, how nice the house need to be. You know, some people say that I don't have enough money to move out. I understand that for some people, they really would love to move out, but there's a lot of financial consideration. So maybe just one last advice for people like that.
Okay, this is a bit unrealistic. I actually wanted to own a house before I was 30 years old. So actually at that point in time, right, it was just before COVID, I was actually researching already on certain houses, how much I need to save in order for me to afford this house at that age, right? And then after that, COVID happened. So when COVID happened, right, most of the property prices just plummeted through and whatnot. And H2O Residences, right, was actually a place that my boyfriend was kind of like looking at already, even before COVID. So during COVID time, right, I started like researching like what's out there already, and I realized that the price was actually okay. And then after that, interest rate was also low. So I actually took advantage of that and actually bought this place. But one thing that really has to be done, right, before actually owning a place is really knowing whether can you really afford it or not. Because like sometimes, you know, when we buy a place, right, then we're like, oh, maybe 80% of your salary can already, you know, that kind of thing. But actually, right, nowadays, cost of living is actually very high. So you need to think about like, okay, if you really buy a house, this is the amount that you're committing to, and are you willing to really sacrifice part of your lifestyle for it? That means, right, maybe less cafe runs, less vacations and whatnot. Are you willing to sacrifice that? And I'm the person that is willing to sacrifice that because I really like to have my own space Yeah, so that's something that I'm willing to sacrifice, but at the same time, you know, do research, like loads of research to know what you want and what you do not want for a house.
Alright, fantastic. Thank you very much, Eileen. Now, if you like this episode of Worth the Home, do hit the like and subscribe button and share it out with your friends. And hopefully those of you guys out there who are looking to buy your own house or designing your own house can learn from this. And do shoot us some questions because Eileen is part of the team here. So I think she can answer all the questions that need to be answered in the comment there. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.